What's up, you fucking dickies? Welcome to the rinky-dink Mickey Mouse Dog and Pony Act known as the Rude Dudes podcast. This is Tyler Morrison here with Jarrett Campbell and our guest, humble Howard Glassman. How's everyone doing today, boys?
Jesus H. Christ in a handbasket. What kind of fucking introduction is that? What's up, dick faces? Gerard?
You're in the jungle now.
Wow. Tell you what.
I haven't been here in a long time either, so
Yeah,
it's all fresh for me.
Yeah, you know, I was aware that Jarrett was doing this, and then you guys were just saying before we started rolling that you hadn't been here in a while, and I'm assuming it's because either you're busy or are you terminal? Are you terminally ill? Have you been going to the doctor?
Here's the thing. I've been busy,
No.
but I am suspicious that I might also be terminal. I gotta go to the doctors. I'm not in good shape.
The fucking hair on the side of your face isn't fucking growing in very good. So
No, well, you listen, it hasn't seen a razor in a few years, has it?
So what are the
Just kinda let
signs?
it go with the buzz.
You're probably one of those people, like a lot of you men, you know, it's like, oh, I don't want to go to the doctor, and all of a sudden you go in there and you're stage 4 lymphoma.
Yeah.
Is that you?
I think so.
Yeah.
I got something going on. I'll
Yeah,
figure
what's
it
going on?
out.
What's tell me?
I'm gonna head in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Like
head
right
in.
from here?
I'm gonna
He's gonna go right from here to the
see if I
clinic.
can pencil the doctor in next. How do you get a checkup? How do you get like a full checkup in the city when you don't have a doctor? I've always had a doctor. Like, do I just have to go to a clinic and then get a referral to a doctor?
Here's what you do: you go to the clinic.
go to Chinatown.
You go to the clinic and tell them it's something simple, like, oh, I think I got something with my tendon or something. And then you go in there when the doctor comes in, you're fully naked. You go, okay, head to toe.
It's already wet. Just drive it in.
Just take some blood, take some urine. Here's some fecal. Just stand there with here's some fecal sample.
Just hand it over.
Take that to the lab. I'll wait.
Silence the lambs. Throw a bunch of cum at him as he's walking by the door.
Well, this
Look
took
at the
a turn.
blonde.
This took a turn for the
No,
weird.
well, listen. We're gonna get in there, but that's what I have to do is go to the clinic, huh? I've been to the clinic before.
Things aren't going good?
Oh, I'm all right.
Yeah.
I think I feel fine, but just things aren't.
What is your malaise? Is it just a sense of ennui, which is kind of a mental kind of depression, or are you physically?
Oh, I got that. I think I've been going through a little bit of that too.
Meanwhile, during the podcast, Jared's eyes began to bleed.
Well, first we could just talk about because I've had a young comic, staying on my couch for a month now.
I'll tell you a story about staying on people's couches.
The thing you should know about my couch is it's in my bedroom.
What is going on?
So I live in a house with 5 other comedians now. So with him, it was 6 other comedians, except for the ones being inside.
Is that kid you were hanging out with the other day?
That kid.
Yeah.
So
it was like I was doing a show with Jarrett, and he shows up with this kid. It's like his young apprentice.
It's my boy. Yeah. That's my boy.
Is he doing like chores and stuff for him?
We try to get him to do what we can.
Dead eyes at 21.
I like to be a friend before a father.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But once in a while, I've had to raise my hand to him. I beat him really good one night for a couple hours in the room, and it got out of hand. And the next morning, he had a bruise on his chest. I had a bruise on my hand. I'm not going to say that.
Prison rules.
Yes, it's something. Rules that's a loose term at our house, but. It really affected my quality of living mentally over the last.
You're saying you're feeling physically ill from having...
this is a separate thing.
If you just tuned in, you're listening to Q with John Gameshi.
But it's all. You might want to turn big ears around for this next one.
Oh, that's great.
The thing is, so I've had this for years now.
What,
I get bruises very easily, and when I was kind of loosely looking it up, because I got a thing that runs in my family.
Did you Google bruises very easily?
Yeah, of course I did.
And you got a.
No, but the thing that one of the things I've gotten back from it is that it could be linked to like a blood clotting thing, and that actually runs in my family very heavily on my dad's side. So I'm thinking that's what's kind of trickled down my way. So I got to get into the doctors.
Now I'm not a doctor, although I like to think
I am, but
been.
I can't legally practice medicine in Ontario anymore.
I call myself Dr. Google or Jugal. Here's the thing: if you go to a walk-in clinic and tell them that you bruise easily, they're not gonna. They won't have anything for that.
Tell me to fuck off.
They're gonna say, "Hey, son,
what the fuck?
Are you bleeding from somewhere? If not, fuck away."
What are you talking about? That's like a real thing, though.
That's what I'm saying. Unless you're bleeding, no, not bruises easily. That's like a whole. You need to go to a clinic. I mean, like a bruises easily clinic.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I need a referral to the Bruises Easily clinic. Are you trying to tell me I don't have a problem?
In the year you have a fucking problem.
Yeah.
In the year 1986, I was on the road with a comic, and I said, "Hey, I'm going to be in Toronto in a couple months." He says, "Hey, you can stay with me." And I thought, great. So I come to Toronto. I'm staying above some Chinese grocery on Bloor, around Bathurst there. That comic was Ron Vaudry, and his roommate was Boyd Banks.
Nice.
I knew Boyd from from starting out in Vancouver and stuff. But I didn't realize Boyd was Ron's roommate at the time. So I don't know. I left that. Not only was I bruising easily and bleeding internally, I probably had gonorrhea from sleeping on Boyd's couch.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't even go to the clinic for gonorrhea anymore.
Not anymore.
I got the pills right
Over
there.
the counter.
I got them in the Wednesday box on my pill box. But that's all separate. This is the thing that's been going on for years. I just haven't addressed it.
You haven't addressed. You've been bruising for years.
Years. So I gotta get that checked out. But mentally, it's just I was doing a lot of good things before this kid came in. I'm not gonna blame him, but I was going to the gym. I was living real healthy, and then eventually, when you start waking up with a dude on your couch in your bedroom after a few weeks, you just fall back into living like a dirtbag.
Having beer for
That's
breakfast.
He's your Dave McInnes.
Essentially, man, but he's in the bedroom. I love the kid. We love him. God bless him. We love him. I think he moved out today. He's gone today. So today is the next step. Oh, I live with a wealth of comedians. Here's the thing. Almost every week on my way to the washroom, I'll meet a new comedian that I didn't know lived at the house. So the ones that I have track of right now would be Pat Bircher, Marito Lopez, Nick Beaton, Monty Scott, and then Chris Roberts is also
So is it like a sign-up sheet at your place?
Oh, there's a long lineup.
You
gotta get there at
Jarrett's.
5 p.m. 5 p.m. on
That's
Monday.
funny.
See if you can get a spot the next week.
And what about you, young man? How are things with you?
Things are good, yeah.
You seem healthy.
Yeah, I'm
Do
doing
you have
okay.
A family, you live in the country.
Yeah, I mean,
Raised by Amish.
everything's going pretty good up there. Yeah,
That's the thing about living out in the country. Things don't have to be going well. We'd never know, would we?
got to bring my garden hose in before the frost.
Yeah,
it's fucking boring up there right
list
now.
is different than his.
Yeah.
Fumigate the bedroom now that the kid is gone.
Well, man, he saw a nice big mouse there too the other day. We got some ants. Now that the cold has come, I'm getting bit less at night.
Oh my god!
Before the cold, I was getting bit a lot.
Sure.
Oh fuck!
I didn't know what was biting me.
That's one of my favorite comedy stories. Is Jeff McHenry was living with Bobby Mayer, and Bobby Mayer brought home like a pretty big girl one night, and McHenry's, and they're living in a pretty bad apartment. And McHenry goes after she leaves, he goes, "Did you bring her home to eat the mice?"
The whole, I don't think people realize that whole, like, going on the road with people you don't know. I always thought that was the weirdest thing, is that in the States, a lot of the places I played had comedy condos. In fact, Edmonton and Calgary. Edmonton used to have one at the Yuck Yucks. You stayed in an apartment.
Yeah, they still have that at Calgary.
Did they still that?
Calgary does.
But it's a weird concept. Like,
it is.
Got those guys you
I just
named.
did it this last past. I was on the road.
The guys you named, you know those guys.
Yeah, but I was just on the road for 2 weeks with people that I didn't
Complete
know, and I stayed in a
strangers.
condo with them. It
So
was the second weekend, so I kind of already worked with them.
First couple of years I was on the road, I had met Kenny and Wayne Fleming, and found myself in Edmonton for a week with them. And I'd never, you're roommates with arguably two of the biggest pigs on the planet.
Wade Fleming, of course, is Jim
God.
Carrey's mentor.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
He passed away, right?
Yeah.
But he was also
last
Kenny's
year.
best friend for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
And they were always really kind to me.
Kenny Robbins?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but really gross.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I dreamt this or it's like an urban legend, but I do remember somebody coming out of the washroom with their own poo about 2 in the morning.
That'll happen.
Yeah.
Wait,
And that doesn't happen in everyday businesses.
Not everyone knows where to put that stuff.
That's right. When you work at IBM or...
But the way that I've described this home is like, it's like living in college. Last time I lived with like 4, it was less than this. Like, we had less people in it. It was more livable in college. But it's like taking a college home, 5 dudes, taking it, and you remove hope.
Right.
Just
And
take
that's
some
what it is.
sledgehammers
It's
to
just-
the wall.
It's 30-year-old dudes, broken dude, and and arguably a few of the best comics in the country live in this house. Like, we've
I was
a
gonna say
very,
that.
very. It's a funny house. Everybody that's in the house is a working comic. It's like a working touring comic. So it's like, it's cool that I live with actual funny people, but it's also really disheartening to see what this industry will do to you.
Well, I was
I'm
gonna
the
say,
youngest guy in the
for
house
you
at
people
29.
listening, for you people listening, and that list of comics at Jarrett's, just you're thinking, wow, I thought that guy was doing way better.
Yeah.
He's living at Jarrett.
Jarrett just sewered
He's
their
living at
entire
Jarrett's
career.
house. I was thinking, fucking Marito, I fucking love him.
But I'm the type of guy that'll test your metal every day, keep you honest. You know what I mean?
I think some of those
I think
guys
we
are
all
on
do.
the road a lot, though, that it doesn't.
We all
fucking
go on
matter
the
where
road.
they
Like
live.
I've only been I've already, since I've moved in there like a month and a haf ago, I've already missed half of a month of even, like, I haven't had to be there all the time, which is nice. But now it's like I look forward to going on the fucking road just to use a shower at a hotel. You understand?
I do understand. I
wear flip-flops.
And Jarrett was
fascinated by
living
it
in
all.
a nice place before.
For
You
years, since
you went
I
from-
moved to Toronto, like, I had a real job. I've lived in nothing but new condos for a decade.
from
What was your real
penthouse
job
to
for a while?
basement.
I worked at Sportsnet City TV and like commercial. I was like in traffic. By the I started in
I know
commercial
what you-
production and then I went in traffic.
Is that what you went to school for?
I went to school for television broadcasting. Yeah. So then I started in there.
And think about it. Now you're living in a house with 5 comics.
So
Yeah, so
It's
going
like it's not even like I took a step back. It's like I took a step back and there was a stairway there that I didn't know was there, and I fell backwards
you
down
leapt
it.
into fire.
But you know what? I'm telling you what it does. It's the type of place that makes you good. Like it makes you a better comic because it keeps you like every day. If you don't write, if you don't go out and do a show, if you don't do something, then you just become a guy that lives in that house. So it motivates you every day to do better. I got too comfortable living in these condos for too long because I was used to having like enough money. I had a savings. I had all that. Savings are gone. Savings are gone. And now I live in this fucking house. And every day I wake up, I'm like, if I don't get funny
With
and I
Mick
don't
Beaton.
make something out of this, I'm fucked.
Is there a hierarchy in the house?
Fucked. Yeah, sometimes I'll just open the door and watch Nick Beaton sleep for 5 minutes. Like, I can't ever.
You're like, I have to write now. All of a sudden, you start having these dreams.
Every
Marito's
time.
riding he's on Nick's back, riding him like a Shetland pony.
I'll be like, I'm going to skip the gym today. And then some fucking guy that barely dries himself off in the shower will walk through the kitchen wearing nothing but a towel. And then I'm off to the gym.
Well, this is the thrill. Thank you for having me on your show. What's it called again?
Rude Dudes
Love this
podcast.
shit.
Oh, we're glad you could be here.
Thank you very much. And I have a couple questions for you.
Sure.
I'm my story. I'm back in comedy now, and sort of seeing it from a
It's
different.
debatable.
It'd be cool.
You're around.
Oh,
We see you at shows.
please. Okay, here's the thing. If I don't make Jarrett Campbell laugh, then what the fuck will I do?
That's it.
But here's my question. Because some things have changed in terms of sensitivity. It's interesting because you guys both are some of my favorites, and I know that you guys push the envelope. Yeah, see, now you feel bad because you're being a twat. But,
No, I
my
knew the
question
praise was
is-
coming. Where else were you going to go?
But here's my question. When you guys are trying out material, because both of you are more of the edgier side, like how many times, like how much, like for instance, I know this Harvey thing seems to be a big no-no. I don't see anybody doing anything. Have you guys talked about it much?
How do you mean?
Well, I'm just saying the last couple weeks in clubs.
I haven't talked about him on stage.
That's what I mean.
No.
We
I
talked
don't
about it
see
on the
it.
podcast last
Yeah.
week when we did like 2 episodes.
But
so,
see, it's funny
but-
because I just don't see a lot of guys, and I always get the same answer when people are on the show saying, "Well, I don't want to do topical material because I don't want to burn it." And I
they're
would say,
full
"Well,
of shit.
that is ridiculous because topical material can lead to, legacy stuff that you're going to be able to
Yeah,
use
but
over and over
people that
again.
are afraid to do topical material, people that are also afraid. Those are people that just don't
Don't
I think,
write.
write enough
They just
because then
don't
they're
write.
afraid to write something that has to go away that they can't use. They only want to do stuff that they can keep fucking doing.
I
And I
think-
think that there's a fear in that you have
But
to
I've
you have
noticed
to
the
create
scene-
every day if you're doing topical current
But the
event.
scene has changed.
That's why I
because
stay away from it.
In 10 months, I haven't seen a lot of guys. Tyler does. I've seen him some current references use sometimes, but not a lot of people do it.
But I think that like if you're headlining too and you're doing 40, 45 minutes, you can have like that like 2 to 3 minutes even early in the set that's like all topical new shit, and just have that as a revolving door that you're writing new stuff, and eventually some of those jokes will end up being a joke that'll last a year or 2 years depending, and history always repeats itself, so there's a chance that you can bring that topical joke back again.
Yeah,
if it's
it's
about
like
a
if you tweet
celebrity,
your shit every day, and
Yeah.
then you can always go back. There's something there sometimes. Sometimes there's a little meat.
a celebrity's always gonna fuck up again too. If he's
Yeah.
fucked up once, you can bring it back.
You think
Okay,
we've heard the
what
last
about-
of Spacey?
Yeah, but what about Harvey Weinstein?
Weinstein, big difference.
Anything about that?
Well, what do you want to? I think that again, like this is people have said this obviously a bunch, but I think we should all be shocked by the volume of the accusations. But to look at a man like Harvey and who he is in Hollywood and what he is, are you at all surprised that that's a man capable of doing that? I'd be more surprised if he wasn't that person, to be honest with you. I think the amount that he did it is shocking. The fact that he did it isn't shocking to me. Man's a pig. He's always
find it
been a
interesting
pig.
that people who are not in the business find it fascinating that people who are in the business wouldn't have said anything. And I think, well, wait a second. I've worked in, corporations and big companies.
You protected Gomeshi for years.
Well, I tell you what, there's personalities in radio that got protected who were, shitty fucking assholes.
Yeah.
That would have been in any other company fired for the way they treated women.
Mm-hmm.
But because you make the company a lot of money, everyone knew it. So that whole everyone knew it, but no one said anything. I think that's common in everybody's business.
Sure.
If you're the most productive guy at the real estate office, you go around, jerking off into planters.
Yeah.
People will turn a blind
And people
eye.
idealize all the other because they're like, I like when somebody who fucking like works at Home Hardware is like, I can't believe George Clooney wasn't it from. Like, well, how the
Yeah,
fuck you don't
exactly.
fucking know
Okay,
George?
so-
I'm talking like George
No,
is
exactly.
a guy you've
Can
trusted for
I can't believe
years.
Matt Damon, he feels so bad.
Oh,
But everyone's
I feel
talking all
personally
this shit.
betrayed that Matt Damon didn't come forward. Fuck off. You enjoy his movies, and he enjoys making money off you enjoying his fucking movies.
But like, okay, so everyone's like, talking a big game about all this, and then and the Weinstein thing, everyone's fucking condemning him. And then what happened with Buddy from Just for Laughs just got fucking busted. A lot of very quiet comedians after that. Like there was not a lot of
because
comedians
he was the one
talking
getting
about
them
it.
gigs, right?
Well, or they're just afraid to, poke the bear. Like you don't want to, kick that company when they're down because you see a potential.
I agree. Is that if you're a young guy like Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, you've just got this screenplay and
you know how old he is. Eh?
Yeah.
Just say
Well,
when you're a young guy like Ben Affleck.
when he was a young guy, shut up.
Yeah.
When
he
you're a
was young
spring
guy,
chicken.
when he was a young guy
George.
putting together that movie, this was like 30 years ago, and if somebody. You got this Harvey guy, and he greenlights your picture, and then later you find out he was a pig. Around the time that you got Good Will Hunting, are you gonna say anything?
Yeah.
It's like you just said, those young.
Well, it's like
doesn't make
Kevin
sense.
Smith kind of made a thing too, where Kevin Smith had come out and he said he owes his entire career and his livelihood to Harvey Weinstein, and then he came out and just buried him for being the biggest pig. It's like, I don't know. I think there's probably more.
But
It's not even that a lot of people knew, but it's also one of those I don't want to know.
a lot of it's
You
too-
don't want to
it's-
hear it, so you purposely stay away from
It's based on power. It is based on power. All this shit's based on power. If you're a young comic and someone who's high up in the comedy industry is doing some shit, it shouldn't be up to you to fucking speak out. It should be up to the people who have already made their careers to fucking stand up for the young people coming up.
And you can't
Like-
expect somebody to turn in Gilbert Rozon.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna. If he can do something for you, right? It's his peers that need to be the ones to do it.
It has to be people who like it's like we need a few elder statesmen to step up to bat, as opposed to, I think, a young comic just popping off. It's not gonna
But
fucking do that
Gerard
guy
said something interesting too about
any good.
people enjoy their films. And how do you like my daughter? Is the 19-year-old, just started her first year university, super social justice warrior. I was watching some Woody Allen films, did some research about Woody Allen. Now won't watch his films, and I tried to say to her, honey, how do you separate art from the artist? I know this sounds a little deep, but I grew up, and I know it's going to make me sound 100 years old, but I loved Bill Cosby. I fucking loved him.
Of course.
Bill Cosby, George Carlin, Steve Martin, and Richard Pryor. I loved them all. So it's hard sometimes, and I know that it's the Chappelle's bit, but it's true. How do you separate somebody you grew up loving, and now he's this fucking pig?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't. There's because it's also there is like a kind of a denial attached to it, because Bill Cosby's still one of the greatest comics ever.
Mm-hmm.
That's undeniable. But people are just going to tell you that he's not now. It's like,
the
fuck,
problem
no,
is
but
the
he
first
still
line.
is.
The real shitty thing. Well, not the real shitty thing. The real shitty thing is all the raping. It's Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
But the shitty thing for his legacy is the first line of his obituary is going to be super duper rapist. Maybe not that wording, but
They might use that wording.
super duper
They try to make it
rapist
fun
Bill
again.
Cosby.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he's going to be. That's his legacy now, absolutely. And it's kind of, he left so much great work kind of behind him through all this. Well,
When
not
Richard
behind him.
Pryor-
the comedy work. The comedy
was-
work, right?
Yeah.
His other work.
Great work on couches.
For 40 years, he's
No,
just
that's
been.
no, but that work is sticking with him.
He's an
That work
alchemist.
He's taking to the grave.
That's right. I don't know. You guys ever hear the Danny Thomas story? This
No.
is one of those show business stories I love. So this old comedian / television personality. His daughter was Marlo Thomas. She was married to I can't remember. Doesn't matter. But the rumor about him around the same time I heard the rumor of Cosby is that he liked to have women shit on a glass coffee table. Now, everyone's got that guy, but I heard that in from Seattle to Toronto to L.A. to Calgary. Now I just can't believe that story's not more popular. Like that hasn't come up.
Because what's wrong with that? If a girl's shitting on a coffee table, she's probably awake.
Yeah, that's true.
So who gives a
Yeah.
shit? That's a consenting act.
You know what? You're right. That is the distinction.
That's a Imagine the fucking elaborate trap you'd have to set to get a girl to
suck
unwillingly
her
shit
in.
on a glass coffee table. You got to give her the X-lax somehow. You got to find yourself under the coffee table right at that moment. I think that's perfectly fine.
How
Yeah,
pissed off?
You know, that is the consensual.
How
aspect.
pissed off do you think Cosby is at his fucking pharmacist though? Like 60 chicks, remember? You're not doing your fucking job.
I told you. I want the stuff that makes them forget. Yeah, I always thought that if you found yourself under a coffee table jerking off while someone takes a shit, it's time to find something.
It's okay. There's
It's time
a great.
to find something new to do.
Have you ever seen the movie London? and it's a Jason Statham movie from years ago, and it's essentially it's just a dialogue heavy movie. It's not an action movie with Statham at all, and he basically he meets this guy at a bar.
So it's a good one.
Goes to a bar. Yeah, I like Statham. I like Statham.
I like him in that early stuff, that Lock, Stock, and Smoking.
Oh yeah. All Guy Ritchie
Snatch,
stuff is
Guy
amazing.
Ritchie, exactly.
Yeah.
Love that shit.
That shit's awesome. But in this movie, he's a guy that just meets a dude at a bar, and this guy takes him to this party where because Statham's a drug dealer, and he's got a bunch of blow, and the whole movie is them locked in a bathroom doing cocaine, and then they get to know each other more and more and more, and the relationship gets intense, and a couple other people come in the bathroom and get introduced. Basically, the whole movie takes place in a bathroom, and there's people just talking, and he eventually gets to the point where he talks about going to these sex clubs, and now he has girls do exactly that, shit on glass coffee tables while he's under them, and he's talking about the moment he's like going in and the rush and the thrill of it, and the moment when it's done, the leaving, and how incredibly sober you are after that's done, and you've come and you walk out and it just shows him taking an elevator out of the place, and the shame almost, and just like the reality of what he did, but then he has to go back and need it again. But he talks about the sobriety that comes with it when you're done.
Ultimate walk of shame. How's it going, Ty? I'm pretty good. What's the matter? No, you don't want to know.
Oh yeah, this isn't for you.
It's not for you, son.
But again,
so
I mean,
back to Harvey.
That movie's rated PG in Germany, by the way.
yeah,
That's right. It's animated in German.
Well, if they showed the shitting, it'd be on the lower
shit's
shelf.
An actual character. Scheiße boy.
Get this fucking
Scheiße Bub, mein kleinen Scheiße Bub.
What's this table doing here?
Huh?
Back to Harvey though. 2 weeks now, been in clubs and seen people, and it's almost like as soon as you mention that name, it's like ooh, the whole fucking room gets weird.
Yeah.
But I think it's because so many men are afraid of the reaction that they're going to get now. That whole Me Too thing is so odd for someone my age because it's like, oh, you know, I've never been that guy, but it's like now you can't say anything, flirt with anybody. It's almost like gotta
be very careful. And some guys are unfairly getting thrown on the bus for just being like, you know, being weird in a moment, not actually being somebody, not being bad people whatsoever, and they're being exposed. So it's like so fickle to the point.
It's broad what falls under that.
Well, and
hashtag.
This is what I was going to say before when you were talking about how people's peers have to come out. Is the same. There was a couple people. I won't name them. I don't care. But there was like at least one in particular smear article, essentially, where a young comic threw a guy under the bus who didn't do anything wrong, and if you read the article you can see that he didn't do anything wrong, but she tries to throw herself in a class of women that have actually been assaulted and attacked, and in that case, and you see all the comments, you're so brave, it's so brave, and I'm like, that in that I thought it was so disgusting on so many levels that she put herself into that, and I'm like, that shouldn't be. One of us can't come and call her out on that, but an actual victim should come out and call her out. And
there
be like,
were.
why the fuck do you think you get to put yourself in this class? Like, it's just the whole thing was, and that's the thing that's happening now. Is some people are just getting on board with it, and they're kind of ruining people that aren't actually
been abused, and there's some people that are being abused in sort of by osmosis.
They're using and to put yourself in that sort of category of somebody, and then there's real victims that have to read this and be like, what is this fucking fluff piece that you put
Tyler,
together?
what do you think? And maybe you know, Yappy here could take a break while we listen to you.
Yeah, I could fucking leave the room for the rest of this.
No, that's fine. You just sit there and let's listen to Tyler.
You know what? You don't want to victim blame is the term. You don't want to do that. But then there's so many people right now that it's trendy to play the victim as well. So it's such a fine line.
Maybe that was a mistake. He didn't have that much to say.
Yeah. Trendy to play the victim. Let's
it is,
get that.
man. A lot of people want to be
take that quote out.
A lot of people want to be
road dogs. Trendy to play. It is what I'm saying. It's exactly what I'm saying.
It's like everyone's kind of like there's this bandwagon.
You're like, how can I be? How can I not? How can the only way that I can be a part of this strong feminist movement is by also having my own experience, and they craft these experiences.
But if I may, here's why. I got to tell you, and I've been in the media my whole life. I saw the development of social media. You know, I went from listeners being able to, or viewers being able to send you a piece of mail, to email, to complain in real time. I fucking hate social media. I hate the term social media because, you know what, there's some people whose voices I want to hear, you two, and then there's people I don't give a fuck about. The guy at Home Depot, I don't care what he thinks of George fucking Clooney.
You know who else doesn't care? George fucking Clooney.
Exactly. But you know, I'm not saying this is fashionable or not, but I was talking about this on the show. I'm so reticent now to weigh in on anything. Part of it is like, I'd rather have a conversation with you two in about something real than to fucking weigh in. Oh, Humble Howard said this. Gives a shit what I think. And I don't want to be the guy who's outraged, you know?
Yeah.
I really have restricted my Facebook to promoting my show,
Yeah.
promoting the radio show and helping out clients.
I only see things like this on Facebook when someone tells me to go look at
Yeah.
it. If I catch myself scrolling Facebook, that's the other thing I decided a few months ago. Is like when I catch myself scrolling Facebook, I immediately shut it down. So I'm like, you're doing nothing.
Facebook's the modern day fucking spray painting on a fucking train bridge. Like, you just write anything you fucking want, and people just want it. I don't know. It's ridiculous. I can't.
I call it outrage as currency. It's like you build up your cachet of outrage, and you participate in these things, and it builds you up, and you feel good about yourself, and you get to spend this currency. But it's all bullshit, because I didn't care about you or what you thought about fucking Harvey Weinstein before. I don't know you. I care about what you think of it, or my friend of mine, but that's it. That's the social media interaction I want to have.
But you talk about, like, comedians are, like, maybe hesitant to talk about this shit on stage. I'm more reluctant to make a joke about it on Facebook or on Twitter or something, because I think that's where people feel safe to come after you.
You don't control it as much.
And there's
it's out of your control once you post it.
And there's a context when you say it live. They can tell that you're joking and you're in the proper forum, whereas, some people just take shit at face value. I make a fucking political joke, and all of a sudden, like, everyone from the fucking right wing comes after you, or if you make
I've seen some of the
or left wing, like, it's both sides.
You can do that thing that all great comics do after an edgy joke. Go, I'm just kidding.
Tyler gave me a great piece of advice, or just a great comment, because I was on stage once a long time ago with you, and I had done this joke. I'd read a text from my youngest kid saying, "Daddy, just FYI, I'm going to get a tattoo tonight. Just so you know." And I said, wrote it back going, "Well, FYI, I don't mind." And then she said, "But not on my face." So my joke was, that pretty much covers a lot of fatherly advice, or something like that, right?
Sure.
Anyway, it got kind of a growing. When I came off, he goes, "Fuck, dude, what you should have said is, fuck you, that's a funny joke."
Yeah, just tell him.
Like, tell him. Like, don't fucking give me that, ooh, whatever.
That's 3 minutes of Tyler's 8-minute set is fuck you, that's a funny joke.
It was a good...
Yeah.
But it was a great thing to tell me at the time, because I would have thought, oh, maybe I shouldn't try that. And he was like, no, it's whether they laugh or not, if it's funny, it's funny.
Sure. But also, as a comic, don't get in the habit of telling the crowd what's funny and what's not.
Sometimes, though, you have to fucking let them know, like, early.
I know, but you also know that that's such an abused tool by a lot of comics when they tell a joke that isn't funny.
Well, that's
and they go,
true.
"Fuck you, that's funny," and we're all in the back like, "No, it wasn't."
Yeah. But, like,
it was a flop.
But
I'm not saying that.
But
about
if
your
it's
joke.
if it's a legit joke, though, and you
Jarrett's
know
right.
that they're being,
it's not a crutch for me.
crowds can be such fucking pussies.
Because
so
that's not my thing. I'm not trying to be edgy. But that was an edgier piece in that whole stuff, and I've done that a couple times now. When now I feel more confident about it, because I know it's a funny joke.
You get one of those in like an 8 to 10 minute set, and you get 2 of those in a 40. You know what I mean? Like, but you have to fucking use it at the right time, and to prompt them. Sometimes you can feel them clamming up, right? Like, especially if the lights are up a little bit. They're not laughing at edgier shit if they aren't as anonymous. So it's something you want to.
Interesting.
Tyler's next album, fuck you. That was a funny joke.
Just one joke?
One joke. And the rest of you just battling a crowd. What do you have here?
I brought some cookies.
Where do these come from?
These come from Bruno's Fine Foods.
Oh, Fine Foods.
those are
I haven't had a
fine.
fine food in years.
Have a cookie.
I trust
Oh,
no
what
man.
is it?
What about the kid?
No, you can't have peanut butter.
This kid?
If I had a guess.
I was going to say, this might be
Rusty.
the first time men have said, "Hey, you want a cookie, kid?" How many cookies did Kevin Spacey offer you?
What are you going for?
That's a really
What are
good
you going
cookie.
as for Halloween? Molested?
Come on.
Come on. Look at you.
You're going to go as a fucking victim. Hey, Ross. Have a cookie, my friend.
Very good.
Yeah, they're pretty
They
good.
are good. I usually don't trust a man named Bruno, so this is gold.
I think the problem with the Harvey thing
What
is that the real problem is that men can sympathize, but we can't relate. And what do you think of that? I mean, I can sympathize. I've got daughters. I've had wives and girlfriends, and I don't want to. I've never thought of myself as that creepy, vibe. But here's the real issue: is if a woman said to us, "Hey, how about you fuck me? I'll put you in my movie." You probably go, "Okay, sounds good."
There's still like a
You know what I'm
double
saying? There's
standard.
That's it.
There's no fear
Still
of
there.
if you say no.
You're gonna get hurt.
Yeah,
Because I
there's
also
no-
don't feel that way. Like, I don't feel like I've never that's why I can't relate. I can sympathize.
You can sympathize, but you
But I
can't
can't
relate.
relate because I've never felt like a victim.
Never felt
and I
powerless.
don't exactly. And I've never felt that, and I would never want to pretend. Again, this goes back to what I said. I don't want to ever pretend that I felt that.
But you
I don't want
see-
to speak like someone that pretends I know that.
Yeah, what bugs me about guys in this whole thing is they're trying to pretend that they can empathize, which is relating. We can't relate because we're pretty physically able men. No one's ever made. No one's threatened me to make me feel like, oh fuck, if I don't do this, I'm going to be in trouble.
I would come so fast if someone did.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. If a chick, I was going to the washroom last night at this really cool restaurant, and as I was going there, if a woman walked by and went, "Hey, you want to see me rub my clit by this plant?" I'd go, "Okay, hang on, let's take some pictures."
I totally
Do
get.
you want to see me rub my clit by this plant?
But what I do understand
Do we need the
is that
plant?
it is a completely plant can go.
Get the
right.
fucking ficus
Hey,
out of
Jared,
here,
what's
babe.
that? You don't know me, but I'd like you to watch me rub my clit, just here in the hallway.
But it is so different. It is different. It's so
because
different.
we can
'Cause women,
sympathize, but we can't relate.
There is that whole the power thing, and it's. I'm never going to pretend to relate to that because I think it is awful what they've gone through, and I know, and I'm just also a bit of a deviant, so like I enjoy this type of stuff.
Sure.
But I can get on the other end how horrible it is. I'm never going to pretend that I understand why exactly, but I can see.
It's a balance.
You
of
have to
power
be,
issue.
you're an idiot if you don't see the difference between what a man and a woman deals with.
Absolutely, because it's the balance of power. It's the, like guys just have that. It bothers me when some guys you're like, yeah, let's support him. I'm like, most guys should hashtag would have been me please, not fucking me too. They'd be like, yeah, bring it on.
The best thing you can do as a guy is continue to not harass women.
Yeah.
Or to make an effort to not be a pig or an asshole or a creep. That's what you can do. Everything will get better.
Jarrett Campbell, for
Creepiest guy in Toronto.
most deviant
No.
fuck.
I talked about this to
Thank
people.
you, Jared.
This is what I talk about with people because I'm not worried about anything coming out with me because like I wear my dirt on my sleeve. And there's a big difference between being a dirtbag and a creep. I think. Whereas like
right.
everybody knows everything about me. I've talked about it on stage. There's no secrets for me.
All these
I wear it
clean
all right here.
comics, man, hiding everything.
I'm telling you, man. Me as a dirty, I know that I've never been afraid to talk about anything that I've done because it doesn't. I'm not. I just say, I just enjoy that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But also,
Low
it's
life.
it's all right here, and I'll put me in a room with fucking 3 guys who have never talked about that, and I'll sniff out the pervert, and it won't be me.
Well, that's the thing.
Sniff out the pervert.
I'll
That's
sniff 'em
your
out.
album
I'll
fucking title.
sniff
Yeah,
'em.
that's right.
I'll fuck out
Jared
the
Campbell.
pervert. I'll
Sniffs
suck
the
it right
pervert.
out of him.
I'll suck the pervert out of you. There's that old saying that everybody is, dealing with something that you know nothing about.
Do you know any sayings that
But
aren't old?
listen to me. But here's the thing: everybody has a sexual proclivity that they're fucking dealing with that they wouldn't share with others. I'm not a lot of guys my age are talking about meeting chicks on Tinder and the dates that I've had, and it's like fuck it. I'm not trying to pick up chicks in a creepy manner. I'm doing it overtly.
Yeah.
And I think there's some good comedy there for me because it's such a dichotomy in the fucking age difference. And I'm
Can I ask what you got your age settings to?
50 something.
50 and up?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, for girls?
Yeah.
Fuck
my
no.
own age.
No. What are you
no.
looking at?
Fuck that shit.
Because I know I got my.
55.
Okay, I got mine
35,
blown
55.
out from like fucking 19 to 60. I've met 55-year-old women from Buffalo.
My last girlfriend's birthday is today. She is 33 years old.
Oh, God bless
Yes,
you.
brother.
God bless you. And how is she?
Yes, she's fucking fine is how she is.
Yeah, I bet you check all the time, don't you?
No, I'm not friends with her on Facebook anymore. In a fucking drunken rage.
I know you're an old school
Fuck
guy.
it.
You still
Fuck that
you go
shit.
look her dead. You go look her dead in the window when you want to see what's up.
Exactly. I wanna
Dead
know
in the
what's going
window.
on. Yeah, she. But yeah, man. I think there's a lot of. Do I know any sayings are old? Go fuck yourself.
That one fucking stuck in your craw for a while.
was-
eh?
Yeah, like molasses.
Gerard.
Here's a very old saying. You don't have to preface anything with "this is very old." We assume that everything you're about to say is going to be fucking old.
And we just
Look, you
assume-
brought salted caramel cookies. They're delicious.
That's for Granny.
Do you also have an old ashtray with hard candies in it
I
sitting
do.
on your coffee table? Yeah, do you take it off
know
before
what?
the girl shits on it?
I love hard candies. Yes. Hard candies.
It's
make me
actually
hard.
delicious.
They are, and they're yours. I just had to get them into my house because I got fucking high all weekend. I couldn't stop eating
Look
them.
at this though. You got a $10 box of cookies from a fine food place, so things are going okay.
These are all right.
You're okay.
I'm not living with 6 other comics in a fucking orphanage.
No.
Okay, Oliver? That's what I'm gonna start calling you. All right, Oliver. Oliver Twist. All right, I can imagine that kid that was staying with you. Please, Gerard, how do we pick a pocket or two?
Well, that's why I had to hang my bindle every time I get in the door. I've got a fucking napkin on the end of a stick. That's how I travel around now.
Littlest hobo fucking
Oh,
hitting
man,
the
what a nightmare.
frozen
I'm
box.
telling you what, man, it's keeping me honest. This fucking place. And I slipped into it got bad with it, but now that the kid's out, the boy moved out, and it's hard to let him go. No matter
Harry
how long
Potter
you hold
left
on, it's
the
hard to let the
fucking-
kids go. And now it's Daddy's back. Daddy's back. Gonna go to the gym this week. Gonna go to the doctors.
Gonna go to the doctor
Not
for
in
my
that order.
bleeding eyeballs.
Not in that order though.
Well, boys, I got to tell you, I like both of you. You're both make me fucking laugh. Even you, Jared. I know that all your sinister
You've
anger.
called him like 7 different names.
Gerard,
Jared.
It's so funny because I was talking. You know the history of me and my boyfriend here.
No, what's
My
the
son-in-law.
tell?
One of the people that he met on Tinder was my daughter.
Oh fuck.
So when I first met Jarrett, he was all a little bit nervous. He was like, "Oh fuck, you know." I hope because Charlie is my daughter's name, and she told me, she goes, "You know, that guy Jarrett Campbell, I went out with him." I'm like, "Okay, that's I understand what that means." So what we have here is it's weird because he is. I can't even. I mean, as a comic, I want to say something, but
Banged
as a
your
father,
daughter.
Yeah.
it's just
I
too much.
banged.
Yeah, but you know
your
what? You're not
daughter.
the only one, apparently.
Huh? I'm not the only one.
No.
Oh, I think I might have an idea.
Yeah.
I do remember
but
this.
here's the thing: she just told me recently. She goes, "Oh, by the way, because
Hey, who's funnier?
it's pretty close.
Oh, now we got
Fuck
it.
you.
Close.
Fuck you.
Now I want to know.
No fucking way.
Where's your hard candy now?
That's
bitches?
revenge.
Where's your hard candy
No,
now?
I remember
bitches?
last year at Rude Dude's Christmas party. Now you fucking called him out, and it was fucking hilarious.
Well, I just
Called
saw
out the other guy.
I
no,
just-
you called
Oh, I
Jarrett out.
I saw her on Tinder not less than a week ago, so it couldn't have went that well with the other guy.
I know she's not on Tinder anymore.
Well,
She's
she
got-
was.
she's
Maybe
got a
it's an old
boyfriend. Yeah,
account.
it's an old account.
Dead
She's got the
account.
same boyfriend now for over a year. So the other day she's talking about. I said I had run into you, and I was a big fan.
It's close. Give me
Listen,
a fucking
fuck
hint. Give me a hint.
It's close. He's only slightly funnier than you.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. Older or younger than me?
Younger,
Ooh,
and he's an up and comer, my friend.
got
you know
it.
who it is?
Nigel Grinstead.
Did you know who it was?
Was it Nigel?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I might have
How
known
did you
that.
know who
No, you know what?
The only younger guy that's funnier than Jarrett. No.
No, I actually didn't know that. I did know that.
So I'm talking about Jarrett because
I'd forgotten.
you know you'll find this hard to believe listening to this, but I fucking like the guy. And I was talking to Charlie about you for some reason. I just run into you, and then she goes, "Oh, Betty, by the way, Betty," she goes, "You know, he's not the only comic I met on Tinder." I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?" It's like
Good
mic.
open dialogue
Yeah, exactly.
happening in the
You should know
Glassman
we met
home.
her together that night.
Hey, listen, you young people and your whatever.
That's why I was playing dumb. Like, there's no way he knows this story. No, that's good though. She, at least could have been worse.
Yeah, it could
She
have been
coulda
more,
fucked
way
Dean Young.
fucking worse. I was gonna say who could have been worse? Richard Ryder? No.
Oh no.
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby.
Jay Brown.
You know, people find it hard to believe that I do have that kind of dialogue with my kids, but like, fuck it, you know, life's too short. I've always been honest with them. When I was living
That's a good relationship
I was
to have.
living with that younger woman.
Timmy Steves is here.
Love that kid.
Oh.
Timmy's got,
Got
he's got a nice
fucking
big brown
scotch.
drink already.
Oh God.
Timmy's coming in piss hot.
Fuck, that's awesome.
Standing outside.
Get the hip shirt on. Oh,
like-
that's good.
John Cusack can say anything,
Fucking
standing
love that
outside the window.
Look at him. God bless him.
Fucking leather guy.
I bet that'll be topped right up before we get him into this
Oh
booth.
God! Last time he was here, what a disaster.
All right, well, I'm ready to get out of here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you guys have anything else you want to talk about?
Well, we get a couple more minutes. So yeah. Fuck
do we
man.
got?
Anyway, what I was going to say is, so my daughters never heard my ex-wife and I have sex, but they heard younger girlfriend and I have like drunken fucking monkey sex.
That's tough to hear.
And I didn't know. I was so drunk, I didn't really know what was going on. I was just like
Throwing your own shit.
banging shit.
Oh yeah, fuck me in the ass.
I forgot they were
Fuck me in the
downstairs.
ass.
You know,
Call me a
just-
pussy.
Yeah, okay. All that, and then the next day I picked them up from school, and they might have been like 13 and 15, 12.
Oh,
and
good age
16.
to hear that
and then
too,
I get
eh?
them in the car, and nobody talks to me.
Who's your daughter's new mom? You're my daughter's new mom.
Yeah, I'm talking shit to her, and they're like, they wouldn't speak to me. They were like, I go, what's up? Like, no, we can't talk.
Oh fuck.
And then finally, after a couple hours, like, we heard you. I'm like, oh no.
PTSD.
All that stuff you just said, I'm sure I said worse.
You said some stuff.
I said
I
some
love
stuff,
that.
like fucking banging against the wall, being loud and fucking dirty, and they, yeah.
Your daughters are home. Let them hear it.
All in the shit.
I am the god of fuck.
Fuck daddy! Fuck daddy!
I gotta put this dress back before my daughter knows it's missing.
Now I'm the woman! I hear knocking
No,
door.
turn Mr. Big Ears back around. He needs to see this.
I wanted to see this part.
Not the fucking dog! Knocking the door.
Okay, take it out, take it out, take it out, take it out.
Papa? What is it?
Can we We watch cartoons.
Right. Papa, there's someone at the door. Fuck it! I'm there in a fucking harness and a fucking gimp mask.
Well, that's a lot of growing up happens in that day, in that moment,
Yes, sir.
right there.
Yes, sir.
There's Santa Claus isn't
There's
real.
residual
and then
implications.
But there's no
Dad
way to say,
fucks.
there's no way to say we were wrestling. We weren't fucking wrestling. I was trying to get. She was going to stab me or something.
You're in the octagon, man. There's a fucking
Fuck me.
pit of blood.
That's tough.
Yeah. So the girls have grown up around all of this nonsense. So your little interlude is no big deal in the Glassman family.
No, I
You're
know
thought
that.
very fondly of, by the way.
Yeah, no, I'm a good guy. See what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
open.
And thinks you're funny. I'm like, I don't see it, but that's cool.
Well,
don't
I
see
mean-
it.
He's gonna be showing up around the holidays with a cardigan and some eggnog. Why can't you bring that nice Campbell kid back
That
around,
nice
eh?
That Campbell boy.
Eddie
seemed very
Haskell
nice.
just wheels in.
Hey,
Hello
fuck
there,
you.
Mr.
That was a
Glassman.
good joke.
That Campbell boy seemed very nice.
Maybe I'll
Very
swing
nice.
by,
How
drop
old are
off some
your
cookies.
kids?
Just one, but 2.5, and another. Yeah, girl.
Yeah, girls are
And
fucking
another one
wild,
on the
man.
way, April.
Do you know
So-
what it's gonna be?
Not yet. No. We'll see if I rolled snake eyes again. But
Tell you what, girls are fucking wild, man. My brother, I have 2 older brothers. Between us, we have 6 daughters.
oh wow.
That's too many.
Too many girls. A lot of girl shit in my house.
No pretty.
People crying for no reason. At one point, I had an ex-wife, 2 daughters, and a girlfriend. Everyone having their period at the same fucking time. Oh yeah, it was wild.
Couldn't do it. Well, I mean, you shaved one off, right, with the divorce.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck that.
Do you have a girlfriend right now?
I do not.
You don't?
Although I'm.
So you're on Tinder.
fucking-
Ladies,
Do
if
you
you're-
date a lot
are you on
Tinder?
Bumble?
Do you actually go out?
Are you
Yeah,
on
Because I
Bumble?
find I use it, but I don't actually meet people often. I don't
You know,
care.
I took the summer off where I just basically used professionals.
Yeah.
I was golfing, and I didn't really have the energy. I'll tell you the thing about me is I don't have the energy. I was kind of working on this idea. I wish you know that skip intro feature on Netflix? I wish that was available in real life because I would just like to skip the fucking intro of dating. Because that whole
Of listening to them and getting to know
I
them,
don't
yeah.
want to get to know anybody. I just want them to come over and fuck me.
I'm going to be very upset if I see you doing that as a bit this week at the clubs.
Why? You hate it? I think it's a good idea.
I like
Came
it.
in here to work on us.
No,
I like it
know.
as
I
a
like
bit.
it, it's
I
fine.
like
But
it
I
as a
like
bit.
that idea. I don't have a
No,
joke
no.
for it. But I like the idea.
And I
When
agree.
it comes to dating and restaurant ordering, like I don't want to. Someone comes to the table, they tell you all this. Just skip the intro, take my order.
Yeah.
But with dating, that's the problem with me is I am running out of.
Skip the intro, sit on the fucking glass table.
Yes. Let's get right to the poo.
Skip the intro.
Yeah, you know where that goes, right?
You should do that as a bit.
You and I should do fucking the Shiza puppets.
The Shiza
Fucking
puppets.
sitting on the table. But that's the problem is I don't want to fucking sit there. I can't do it. I'm so fucking tired of hearing about. I went through a.
Oh
real-
man, intros are brutal because
Fucking
you
worst.
don't care about any of it unless you're like instantly in love with a person. Could you
Right.
give
So
a
I connected
fuck?
with this chick yesterday. She's like 35. Seems cute enough, but I'm trying to get to the. Let's just meet because I tell you what, Tinder for my age is different than Tinder for your age or younger. Because your age or younger, it's like, hey, I'm a kilometer away. Why don't we fuck? This is just like plenty of fish. It's dating and I mean, I've had sex with.
Everyone's
a
been
Tinder.
hurt.
I've had sex with a Tinder woman on the first date only once.
A lot of pain.
But usually it's date 3. It's like drinks, dinner, sex.
Yeah.
Like clockwork.
Because I feel like when I see a girl that I'd matched with like years ago and I see them again, like I matched with a girl and she was like now 30 something and I'd matched with her years ago. And when she was like 24 or something like that, and she was like, "Oh, isn't it? It's funny seeing you here." I'm like, "Is it funny? Is it funny that we're both still here? What the fuck is funny about the fact that we matched again?"
Hilarious. Lonely bitches.
Nightmare.
Is it
It
funny?
just means we've both continued to be losers for the last 5 years. This is it.
Guess who's back?
I just
Ding
wanna
dong.
Skip the fucking intro.
Yeah.
That should be the app. That's my fucking album.
And then
There
if
should
you're
be
with
an
her
app
for
to
too
skip-
long,
yeah.
like on Netflix, are you still fucking Sheila?
Yeah.
There you go.
Sheila. Your next session will commence in.
Your body is going to shut down in 10 minutes if you don't use it.
I don't see you as a series. Maybe one off.
We've raised the price to $10.99 a month.
This is a Howard original.
That's funny.
All
There you
right,
go.
well, let's fucking wrap it up
Hey,
then. You got to go.
You got
I
your
do
weekend
have a
worth of
thing.
jokes now.
I do appreciate you guys having me on, and I know I tell you this all the time, but I'm a big fan of both of yours, and thanks again.
Thank
oh,
you.
Thanks so
Always
much, man.
And
yeah,
you're
we-
always welcome on the shows. Suck me. I'll be over for Christmas one of these
What?
days.
That's
Wait,
dope.
how old
What?
is she?
Hey, too young for you.
Shut her down, Russ.
So no, we gotta do our plugs. Check us
you
out on YouTube, iTunes. Subscribe,
Yes.
comment, rate. Tell all your friends. Share it. Check us out on Twitter @RudeDudesPod, and make sure that you listen to SiriusXM Canada Laughs 168. We got Humble Howard from the Humble and Fred Show, man.
Thank you very much, and all the best to both of you fuckers.
God bless.
God bless you, baby Jesus.